Okay, so today we have Dear God, Please Help Me by Morrissey from Morrissey Friday. And somebody requested this one last week, and I said, well, come on now, we're going to do it then. So yeah, this is another one from a ringleader of the Tormentors, and yeah, from 2006. So let's get into this, see what's going on, talk about it after. Let us go.
I am walking through Rome with my heart on a string. Dear God, please help me. And I am so very tired of doing the right thing. Dear God, please help me. There are explosive kegs between my legs. Dear God, please help me.
Church organ.
Will you follow and know me more than you do? Track me down
Heavy drums.
and try to win me. Then he motions to me with his hand on my knee. Dear God, did this kind of thing happen to you? Now I'm spreading your legs with mine in between. Dear God, if I could, I would help you. And now I am walking through Rome, and there is no room to move, but the heart feels free. The heart feels free.
All right. So Morrissey, dear God, please help me. Like I said, near the end there, I mean, there's nothing else to say except, I mean, this was a beautiful song. Lovely even, I have to say. And with, like I also said there with like the church organ, just, I mean, I haven't been to church since I was like 7 years old, but I mean, it's just, that distinct sound. I mean, I don't know. I just get a feel of, I mean, it just sounds lovely. I mean, yeah, I mean, especially here. And like I've said before with this album, Ringleader of the Tormentors, uh, yes, that's the title. I just get a different vibe for this album altogether, from other Morrissey albums. And I don't know why. I don't know, like, I feel like there's more strings. I feel like it's more, I don't know, it just something like, yeah, I mean, it's stringier. And maybe, I don't know if it's just because Morrissey's playing what looks like a violin on the cover. But yeah, it's just, I get different vibes from this album, and I just feel like it's more elegant than what I've heard before. And I don't know why that comes to mind, but that's just what I feel. And this was no exception. I mean, just looking at the personnel here, I just want to, who was on the organ, Michael Farrell on the organ. So yeah, I just really enjoyed that playing. Really just, obviously added to Morrissey's, long vocals, his sweet, gentle voice, I guess, almost vulnerable for what the song seems to be about. And for, what he wrote here is pretty, yeah, he's kind of, exposing himself, like, well, I guess you could say in a way. And anyway, also I want to talk about the drums, Matt Chamberlain on drums. And like I said, heavy drums, I thought, kind of just that kind of deep resonant sound, which kind of I thought was a good contrast between that and, just the sweet music that was being played otherwise. And yeah, I mean, it was just a great song. I mean, I don't know how else to describe it. Just a lovely listen, and I can see why people wanted me to listen to this one. Anyway, on Genius here, to talk about the song, there is an about. So it says, Morrissey is addressing sexual guilt in the context of the Roman Catholic faith. The narrator is torn between his sexual, ambitions and what he perceives as God's will. So, of course, like I've said before as well in my videos, my Morrissey videos, asking like, what is Morrissey's, sexuality? What, who does he like? And usually I get the answers that, like, he's not straight. He's definitely not straight. And, he's kind of, some people have said that he was bisexual, pansexual, or that he's just, he's gay altogether. I mean, so yeah, it's just, again, and that has always been kind of a thing throughout his career, I guess. Even back, I mean, dating back to the 80s, obviously, when, I mean, it was still kind of taboo to be gay, I guess, whatever. Even today's, there are some people out there that are, weird about that. People being gay, who, I mean, it doesn't affect them, but, they gotta, chime in. Anyway, it also says, Morrissey is not the first person to write about this quandary. St. Augustine, while chronicling his own struggle with sexuality in Confessions, remarked, "So then in lustful, that is, in darkness affections, is the true distance from thy face." So yeah, I mean, yeah, it, like it says there, many people have gone through this, especially back in, St. Augustine's era. But yeah, I mean, when you're also, just talking about, religion, I mean, obviously, I'm not the biggest fan of religion, but yeah, and it's always just kind of a thing, I guess, marriage between a man and a woman, and there's still, a lot of, I guess, older people, I guess you could say. There are some younger people too, who think that, and yeah, it's just like, and even though with the LGBT community and how that's risen a lot more, in recent years, there's still that, thing of like, it should be a man and a woman, not a man and a man, or a woman and a woman, whatever. And that's basically, Morrissey's quandary here, talking about God. And I mean, yeah, obviously, dear God, please help me, kind of crying out for help here. Like, what do I do? And yeah, just, again, it's just a beautiful song. Anyway, and so there are some annotations here on Genius. So it says on the first verse, I feel like I put a T at the end there. I am walking through Rome, obviously, beautiful place, Rome, with my heart on a string. Dear God, please help me. So it says, a juxtaposition between Rome, the center of the Catholic Church, and having one's heart on a string, a playful trope used in pop music to express infatuation. Clearly, the narrator is struggling between with a perceived antagonism, I want to say, between the two. So again, yeah, just talking about, like I've already said, he's going back and forth here, like, what should I do? It's not right to do this, whatever. I feel guilty, but I want to do it. I'm turned on. So, and then he goes on, there are explosive kegs between my legs. Dear God, please help me. So there's an invitation here. It just talks about, again, like I already said, Morrissey has spent a career skirting the issue of his sexuality, or even acknowledging that he has a sexuality at all. These lyrics mark a bold directness. It could be in character, but I doubt that. What we have here is a man in the throes of a sexual affair with another man. He is still guilt-ridden, but one senses that he is pleasured too. So yeah, and I mean, that's like basically what I've said. Basically what I've seen from a lot of people through the comments on the song, that, Morrissey is, kind of, he's, like I said earlier, they're kind of exposing, I wouldn't say exposing himself. I don't want to, that kind of sounds harsh or whatever. But he's just kind of letting people know, like, yeah, this is about a man. And I mean, that's what I would think it is, about a man here. And, calling on to God. And that's also another thing. I don't know why I'm tripping on my words. Good Lord. Another thing I want to talk about with God here, is he, there's some parts here. I mean, when he says, then he motions to me with his hand on my knee. Dear God, did this kind of thing happen to you? Sometimes I don't know if he's talking about, the other person in the song, or if he's talking about God, God spreading his legs or whatever, that's quite the image. Yeah. And then, now I'm spreading your legs with mine in between. Dear God, if I could, I would help you. So yeah, I just really enjoy that. But I guess the comma is very important there between the dear God, if I could help you, I would. Yeah. And then I do want to say about the ending here. And now I'm walking through Rome, and there is no room to move, but the heart feels free. The heart feels free. So at the end here, when he says the heart feels free, and because at the start he said, my heart is on a string, but at the end he says it feels free. But he does say, I don't know if I'm going too much into it, but because at the start he says my heart is on a string, but at the end he says the heart feels free. It doesn't say my heart feels free. So I don't know if that's a little bit, if that's, intentional or not, but I just thought that was a little bit interesting. But yeah, I mean, yeah, so obviously, like I said here, talking about sexuality, something that Morrissey has talked about many times throughout, from the start of his career, from 1982 to 2006 here. I mean, that's a long time to, talk about, or just skirt the issue, like it said. It's just, that mysteriousness that Morrissey has, and what I've talked about before, a few times. Looking or listening to his interviews and such, and how he doesn't really seem to be a fan of, like, most people. He likes, he has some friends, I know that, but, he just doesn't seem to be, the type, that you'd walk up to and, I don't know, start a conversation. It doesn't seem like the kind of guy that would, like, just go start a conversation and talk a lot, to a random fan or something. I don't know. But if you know him, I guess, if you were, Andy Rourke in the 80s, he'd probably talk to you. But, yeah, and it's just, I don't know, there's just that mysteriousness to him, and it's just like, he doesn't really let you in, I guess, on his life, and, it's kind of private, it seems, and that's the way it's kind of been for a long time, I feel. So yeah, like I said, beautiful song, just, and I just like, the lyricism here, a lot of vulnerability, like I said, and just the long notes that he was reaching here. And yeah, there's nothing to really hate on this song. And again, I always like how Morrissey talks about, this kind of a thing, talking about God, and talking about being gay, and talking about the guilt. I mean, it's just, I don't know. I just really enjoy what he writes about, and that there's always substance to it. It never seems like he's phoned in a song or something, like he just wrote something for something to do. I don't know. That's what I sense. Anyway, this video is almost 16 minutes long, so I guess that's about it. So thanks for watching. Thanks for liking, subscribing, commenting, all that stuff. Really appreciate all the support, and for coming back for another Morrissey Friday. And yeah, if you have more suggestions, you can leave a comment down below. And yeah, I guess that's it. So anyway, thanks again for watching. And sorry this video is so long, but I guess the song was long as well. So anyway, yeah, have a good day or night wherever you are, and I'll talk to you guys again soon.